I'm about to show you something that you have probably never seen before. A Minecraft combat technique that is so unique, although it's been in the game since 1.8, its true potential has only been discovered in the past few years. Even to this day, it's still quite an underground community, and every day people are still finding new ways to improve this style of PvP. Let me introduce to you what I think is the most unknown, undoubtedly hardest, and quite possibly best combat technique in Minecraft. What I just showed you is minecart PvP. In order to demonstrate how difficult it actually is, I need to show you. If I place my rail, then place the minecart, and finally shoot the minecart, that's not too hard, but it's way too easy to be countered. All an opponent has to do is break the minecart, put up a shield, or even run away. But you can counter the counter. If you change up the technique, then you can actually make this process way faster. By first shooting your arrow and then placing your rail and TNT minecart, all in a simultaneous motion, you can deliver an explosion that's almost impossible to predict. You can probably now understand why this PvP method is so challenging, because along with the crazy mechanics that carting takes, you also have to manage your sword, gapples, and cobwebs during a fight, making cart PvP probably one of the most challenging PvP methods to learn and master. But the insane payoff that this PvP style gives you when you get good at it, it's better than anything else. Let's go, bro! But I think it's finally time to test my true skills. And over the next month, I'm going to be learning and attempting to master cart PvP. But first, I have to start with my baseline skills. At some point in the past, I was actually pretty decent at PvP, and I even used cart PvP a little bit. During this time, I faced players like Clownpierce and actually stood a decent chance against him. But for about the past year, I've been extremely washed at PvP, and my ranking on the PvP tier list is C tier, which is terrible. So the first thing I had to do was hop in a game and evaluate my skills. Off the start, I was pretty much incapable of hitting instacarts. I mean, at this point, I've never actually trained instacarts or really PvP in general. All of my skills I've picked up by passively playing the game. I wasn't able to instacart yet, so I stuck to the slower method of carting, and although I did find some success with that, there was no way this was going to work in the long term, especially against the best players. Next thing to test was my general PvP skill, and by the looks of it, it wasn't great. My game sense was terrible, my aim was bad, I wasn't good at critting or anything. Really, I just overall pretty much sucked at PvP. And I was getting a little bit better on day one. I was starting to be able to kill players using carts, but the moment I encountered an actual competent player, I lost immediately. But now I knew my base skill level was pretty bad. The only way I could possibly go was up. On day 2, I decided to work towards a specific goal. Up to this point, my instacarts were pretty inconsistent and random when I would hit them, because the technique I used, I just spammed all of my keys and hoped. So on day 2, I spent a lot of the day unlearning my previous technique and relearning the correct one. All right, time to practice. Now that I was relearning my technique, I had to think about every button press I made. It was a conscious effort to hit an instacart, and even then I was not doing too great. My consistency was pretty terrible at this point, but obviously practice makes perfect, and after hours of doing the same motion over and over, eventually it gets easier. It took time for me to properly position my hand, but as long as I thought about the buttons I was pressing and the order of doing it, I kind of started getting more consistent, and seeing myself only on day 2 actually being able to hit instacarts felt so good. Now, although I knew the moment I was under pressure or fighting against an enemy, I would pretty much be useless, this was still progress. And for the rest of day 2, I continued just to practice my instacarts. At this point, I really wanted to get instacarts specifically down, as it's one of the key skills of carting. Notably, on day 2, I also changed a lot of my keybinds, which I don't think had a major effect on my carting ability because I was already pretty bad. But by the end of day 2, I had felt a small amount of improvement. On day 3, I started out by warming up with my friend Radoons, and although I wasn't playing cart, being good at any specific game mode does somewhat correlate to other game modes, plus my sword PvP did definitely need some work. I was then invited to a VC with Clownpierce and Foray MC, which obviously I lost the sword duels, but when it came to cart duels, I actually wasn't doing too bad.
Damn! aura.
It was starting to become obvious to me that cart PvP, even on day 3 of training, had so much potential for me.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
go.
that's aura. That's aura. That's aura. That's aura. That's aura.
Already so soon into this challenge, I was feeling so good about my carts. Landing decent under pressure insta-carts against really good players is crazy.
You're the best! Fuck you, because that card was fucking nothing.
Although it still wasn't perfect, I was pretty happy with my progression already. Although I was managing to get some good instacarts and play well at certain times, it wasn't consistent. A small change in the way I was holding my mouse, or just my general lack of confidence, could completely change the way I play. And I seemed to run into moments where I just completely forgot how to instacart and couldn't regain that skill without hard concentrating on doing it. Oh. But of course, it's only day 3 and I didn't really expect to be a master already, so this made sense. And I just continued practicing. I was getting a lot better at regular instacarts. As well, through trial and error, I was starting to figure out correct form for my instacarts as well. But the moment I was attacked by an entity, my form and any sort of training just went out the window. This extra pressure of needing to be quicker made me much worse.
No, my bow's gonna kill it.
I definitely needed to learn how to get better form and also to perform better under pressure. And what better way to learn than watching the best of the best?
I'm gonna have to like slow this down. All right, so he just hit Instacart.
This is a player named It's Salmon, and these mechanics of high-level players is just so insane I could barely even comprehend it.
And get that. Yeah, like that's insane.
It was pretty obvious that cart PvP is a lot of mechanical skill, so obviously I just had to keep training.
All right, so let's I feel like one of the main things I need to practice my flicks, but like, bro, and I wish I was just doing so much better earlier today too. But it's okay. I'll lock in. I'll change the mindset. So they aim around like head height. I would say it's maybe not completely head height. I think it's like a little bit lower. Like around here is what I'm seeing. Hopefully that's correct.
I was trying to copy what I saw them doing in the video, but really it wasn't working too well for me, and I was seeing a lot of backwards progression. Nah, bruh. I think though I just had to be persistent for this.
I was actually just doing so much better earlier. It's unfair.
And for the rest of day 3, I spent a few more hours just practicing instacarts. I got some much needed rest for day 4, but finally when day 4 began, I was feeling pretty good.
We are back. We're back.
And with having a fresh mind, my skills were ready to start instacarting.
That was my second card of the day, I guess.
And right away, I was already doing pretty well.
I have a fresh mind right now. Oh boy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And although obviously I still am not the best at karting, I think this goes to show how important a good mindset is when you're learning a new skill. Simply by having a 1-day break, I came back and felt so much better at my instacarts.
Dude, feeling good. Look at that. Look at that.
Most of day 4 was just me practicing my consistency of instacarts. At this point, I'd already sunk 15 to 20 hours into just instacarts. As well, on day 4, I decided to practice some straight up duels too. Yes! Which comparatively to day 1 and 2, my instacarts in-game were so much better. Both day 5 and 6 were generally pretty similar. I mean, I'm getting to the point where I essentially just need to keep practicing to get better, and I was seeing pretty good improvement in my skills every day. My biggest issue still was under pressure instacarts. It was just so challenging to quickly hit those carts while being under attack. Oh my god. So I set up a practice zombie and gave it speed 2 and infinite resistance, and just trained on that for multiple hours.
All right, there we go. That's one.
This is when I really started to lock in on the actual training methods I was using. I was trying to optimize pretty much everything I was doing for maximum efficiency and maximum accuracy. Here, I was attempting to go on Instacart streaks, so every time I missed an Instacart, I would reset. And eventually, I was doing like 25 Instacarts in a row without missing. No! But anytime I felt confident in one section of training, I would just move on to a more challenging task.
So we need to work on our under pressure. And then so... That's good. Obviously, I have a lot to learn.
I was keeping mental note every time I missed and hit a cart, just trying to understand what I was doing wrong. And just by doing this, it made progression so much easier. I repeat the things that I do well, and I stop doing the things I do bad. And by the end of day 7, it was pretty obvious that this was definitely paying off. My accuracy, my consistency, and my speed had all increased substantially from day 1. I was getting to the point that it was obvious that my skills were improving. And sooner or later, as long as I got my consistency down, this would start to be lethal. But not all days are good days. On day 8 and 9, I honestly saw a lot of regression. Potentially, I just wasn't as locked in on these days, but in order to raise my baseline skill level, I had to keep pushing, even on bad days.
No! Ah, bro. Bruh. I low-key need to, like, lock in on some practice for Instacarts, because I'm making, like, silly mistakes right now.
Because my Instacarts were just not feeling the best today, I decided to challenge some of my other skills by dueling my friend Parrot. And honestly, people kind of underestimate how good he is at PvP, and although I've been training PvP for a week now, I still wasn't able to win most of the duels. By the end of day 9, I was feeling a lot better, and although I don't think I really improved between day 8 and 9, I could definitely see my consistency getting better though.
There we go. Look at that. That was a beautiful card right there.
For most of day 10, I spent just dueling better players. There we go. And although I was losing a lot of my fights,
Oh, no, bro.
it was definitely helping with my game sense and under pressure cards.
Yes.
Yes! Let's go!
Oh, nah.
Nah, bruh, Tufty's still better. After day 10, I felt like my base skills were pretty solid, and I would just need more time to refine everything. So I decided to turn it up a notch and start learning some new skills. Throughout the entirety of day 11, I worked on double carting. Just by holding a TNT minecart in your offhand, you could essentially cart 2 consecutive times in a row without having to do anything else.
Oh, I see the tech. All right.
Although mechanically nothing really changes, it is still a lot harder. You have to do 2 consecutive carts at pretty high speeds while predicting the knockback of the mob and tracking it with the cart.
Oh, that's awesome. Wait, that's awesome.
I practiced this for the majority of day 11, and I did get it pretty down on my practice zombie. I was struggling a lot with actually pulling this off in game. I was getting some clips that were actually kind of close to a double cart, but nothing that I would actually call a double cart. Day 12 and 13 were pretty similar. At this point, I was just refining my skills to be better. But on day 14, I decided to make a major change in the way I was practicing. Before, I was playing against pretty much any player I could fight. But I decided if I wanted to see real progress, I needed to fight players that were better than me. And maybe not just a little bit better than me, a lot better than me. I joined the official Cart PvP Discord server and got into contact with some high tier players. The players that I was talking to are pretty much the best in the world. And literally the first person I fought is a player named Dijon, who's pretty much top 3 in the world. The fight lasted around a minute, and of course I lost. But during this time, I could barely get hits off, and I did not land a single Instacart. I fought some other skilled players as well, and was realizing how much I needed to learn. This is a pretty decent high tier 3 cart player, which means you're around top 200 in the world, and I got shredded. I think I was just starting to realize how much of a difference I was compared to these top players. Originally, I saw high tier 3 as an accomplishable goal, but now I was absolutely getting destroyed, and I just didn't understand how they did it. Compared to these players, my mechanics and game sense were just so much worse. I originally wanted to become a top 100 player, but after playing against some of them, I didn't really think this was going to be too possible. I was trying so hard and I felt really locked in, but I couldn't even get close to killing one of these players. I was trying my best and I was practicing as much as I could, but not being able to win against these players, I was somewhat losing hope. All right, let's run it. Here we go. Here's me playing Theobald the Bird, one of the most well-known cart PvPers, and I played him for hours and was just losing and losing and losing. Oh, nah, bro. Dude, my aim is atrocious right now. Oh, nah, bro. My aim, bro.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh. Whoa! You've gotten so much better at Instacarting.
Thank you. After about 3 hours of consecutive cart PvP against Theobald and losing every single game, I finally managed to win one game. Let's go! I know getting one kill on Theobald in a 3-hour match doesn't really mean much, but it did give me some sort of confidence. And I was slowly realizing that actually playing these good players was making me a lot better. As if I wanted to win against them, I had to go for perfection. And I might not be the best player, but I definitely was getting better. And I wasn't winning these games because obviously these players are just miles better than me. But eventually I did pair up against some average to above average players and I actually did pretty well. Keep in mind, it's only been 14 days since I started training. This is Schlatt Supporter, who is a top 200 cart PvP player and also a cart tester, so he helps rank players. And I would eventually run into this guy again later. Go. I played for a lot on day 14, and overall, I was extremely happy with how it went. My progress has actually been insane for only 14 days. And for the rest of the night, I pretty much beat everyone I played against. And I was feeling like it was finally time to see how good I actually was and get myself tested on the rank side of cart PvP. The thing about testing is that it's random and you don't know who you're gonna play against. And so I really had no clue what to expect, but from what I've heard is it's not easy. I didn't really know what to expect, but all I could really do was practice my skills and hopefully I was good enough for this duel. My goal was to become a top 100 player, and if I could do it now, I mean, that would be optimal, of course. I would just have to perform well enough in my actual test. Okay, so I'm playing on just the duel server right now. I just saw a Discord ping saying that some testing is happening right now, and I'm pretty sure I can just join that. So I'm gonna join that, and we'll see, I guess. All right, so I'm in a queue. There's 5 other players ahead of me, and then I guess I get tested, but I still don't know who's testing right now. I'm a little nervous, I won't lie. I'm actually nervous because I don't know who it's gonna be, and I don't know if I'm good enough, to be honest. I was a little worried because you can only test around once a month, and usually the player is pretty dang good. But eventually the queue got to my position, and it was my turn to go. All right, I'm gonna go get tested now. I was definitely a bit nervous for this, as I wanted it to perform well. All right, I mean, here we go, I guess. But I have played against Schlatt Supporter before and won one of my games, so I felt a little bit confident. All right, here we go. Right off the bat, though, I could tell I was nervous and not ready for this. I wasn't landing carts that I normally would land, and my hits were shaky. Hell no! I already popped, that's unfortunate. Alright, well, okay, so I know this is about to be hard. Good to know. Time to lock in now. There was a chance earlier that when I was playing Schlatt Supporter and won, alright, I can do this, that he wasn't playing at his peak performance and wasn't trying as hard as he possibly could, because now I was kind of getting destroyed. Oh, frick, bro. No, I lost my first one. Darn. Alright, well, okay, I'm warming up, though. I'm warming up. I'll get it. I'll get it. Although I lost, it was first to 3, so I did still have more chances to prove myself. And I didn't have to beat Schlatt Supporter. Really, I just needed to put up my best performance, and he would rank me based off of that. So I haven't really lost yet, to be honest. It's alright, I got this.
I was feeling a bit more confident this round, and I think that small amount of confidence really showed.
Damn it.
Bro.
Okay, I popped them. That's good, that's good, that's good. I'll take that. I'll take that. I have a chance. Let's go, yes! Let's go, yes! Okay, that's 1-1. That's 1-1 right there. That's 1-1. Come on.
And as well as that game went for me, winning one game instantly meant I was a decently high tier rank. Unfortunately, the last game didn't go as well. I did still make some pretty good plays in it.
No, bruh. Stupid mistake right there. Alright, I popped them. I popped them. Let's go. No, bruh. Oh, no. One heart, no!
But in the end, I was given a low tier 3 ranking, which means I'm around top 300 to 400 in the world. Which, honestly, I couldn't have been more happy about. I was nowhere near expecting me to perform this well or get that ranking.
Yay! Thank you. Oh my god, I got low tier 3! Yo, guys, I got low tier 3!
I was pretty ecstatic because I really didn't think I would achieve this rank because it can usually take up to months to achieve this normally. It was pretty awesome seeing the community react to me getting low tier 3 and them being pretty proud of me, but there was also quite a lot of people who didn't believe I was this skill level. I was getting comments like, I'm embarrassed to be the same tier as Leowook, or even just Leowook, you're trash. But even in my tier testing game, there was some kid in the VC that was totally trash talking me.
If he like does really bad, just like aggro on him and like you win 3-0 and give him LT5 and say, well, snooze to lose, bro. Oh damn, he sucks.
No, like he actually isn't that good.
He's garbage.
It was honestly pretty interesting seeing the community split between just pure hating me and also being really supportive. But I had proved myself. I had gotten to low tier 3, so what they said didn't matter, right? So right after I got my rank, I started playing a ranked playlist in the Cart PvP community. Essentially something you get access to the moment you get ranked for the first time. And I thought I had the capability to become a top 100 player. But after my first duel, I realized how wrong I was. My first opponent actually just destroyed me. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be an equivalent skill player, but instead I got pretty much destroyed in 3 rounds. I did end up winning 1 round, but honestly, I just think that was a fluke. Although it felt like I'd become such a great player in just 20 days, honestly, I wasn't holding up too well against players that were equivalent skill. And if I lost 1 more ranked game, I would demote to a lower tier, putting me in around top 1,000 players. And in a game mode where there's only around 5,000 players, that isn't very good. And honestly, I would have just run more ranked games, but I was scared of losing my rank. What if the players that were saying the mean things were right? What if I actually am boosted? What if I do suck at Cart PvP like everyone is telling me? For the next 10 days, I didn't play any ranked at all. And I didn't really even play much Cart PvP or PvP in general. I practiced occasionally, but I was so scared of losing that I wasn't doing ranked, but I knew at some point I actually just had to do it. I had to see if I was worthy of being this skill level or not. And so I finally hopped into a ranked game after 20 days of not playing one. I had high hopes, praying that the player I played earlier was just extremely good for this skill level, but as I got into the duel, this wasn't really the reality. Oh, damn, bro. Alright. Bruh. Oh, nah, I'm cooked, bro. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, nah, bro. I just killed myself. And at this point, it was becoming evident to me that I wasn't the same skill level as these players. And my ranking quickly showed that to be true. I got demoted. I was probably now in around top 1,000 player, which I was extremely unsatisfied with if my goal is to be top 100. And I don't know if it was just my mental or my skills were truly just not good enough, but for the rest of the day, I lost pretty much every single game I played. And eventually, I got demoted again, making myself low tier 4 or around top 2,500 in the world. I will say though, I felt really confident that I wasn't low tier 4. I really thought my skills were better than this. But the only way to find out was to prove myself and climb back up to low tier 3. Alright. I haven't warmed up at all, but I'm doing ranked duels. There we go. I feel like that's a decent start for me. And right off the bat, I was feeling pretty confident. Good on them. But this confidence was quickly shattered. They're good at their Instacarts, I won't even lie. Okay, that's great. Oh my god! They're actually crazy at the cards, bro! Damn, alright. 1-0. I'm just... yeah, that's crazy. I quickly realized that I needed to change something up. I felt like my mechanics and my game sense were all good, but for some reason I couldn't actually apply it all in an actual duel. I needed to find a way to counter this player's playstyle. They seem to use their carts a lot because they're pretty good at them, but I haven't seen them use their sword pretty much at all. And maybe I can take advantage of this by playing extremely close and getting good sword hits off. Yeah, so they spam pearl and cart. All right, that's fine. I can just drain, I guess. This player seemed to be using an absurd amount of utility right at the beginning of the game, and if they continue with this, they're gonna run out of pearls and carts extremely fast. They're definitely using quite a lot of pearls and also carts. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Alright. They seem to take a lot of damage, so just like kind of going for those sword crits might be a strat for me. Although I didn't really expect it, I managed to come back and get a win. But the thing that changed between the first round and that round was I used my opponent's weaknesses against them. And I was just starting to realize how important adaptability is in fights. There we go. Oh my god, that was crazy. That was crazy. Alright, I'm up 1-2 now. And after getting the final win to this duel, I ranked up. What I didn't realize this entire time was that training duels and learning people's strategies was just as important as every other skill I was learning. And facing these equivalent skill players made me learn fast. Yes! Alright, GG. Let's f***ing go, bro. Oh my god, I won. Yes! And I was going on a crazy run. I was now consistently facing low tier 3 players or top 300 players, and I was winning. As well, I managed to obtain my low tier 3 rank back. But this time I actually felt like I deserved it. Yet, I'm still not a top 100 player. In order to become a top 100 player, I have to get the ranking of high tier 3, which in this rank, there's only currently 75 people. I was pretty much grinding ranked duels every single day, and after I hit low tier 3, little did I know I was only one game away from high tier 3 or top 100 players. I really didn't know that I was actually about to rank up, so I started recording mid-game. I was doing my first restock, and currently the score was 0-0. So far in the game, I was feeling pretty confident against my opponent. I was definitely winning on drain, and my skills were just a bit better than this player. And eventually I get my opportunity to win the first round. Let's go. All right, bet. The first win of the round was great, but I didn't expect for my opponent to crash out and start being unkind. I've never had a problem in any other duel besides this one, but seeing my opponent being tilted on the first game made my confidence go up even more that I was going to win. Plus, winning against a toxic player always feels pretty good. Oh, okay. Alright, bet. The player, of course, continued to talk smack in chat, but obviously I didn't really care because I was winning. And now I only needed to win one more round before I became a top 100 player. I honestly wasn't even playing my best at the moment, and this player was not the best low tier 3 I've faced. But, I mean, I guess it's just luck of the draw. Yes! Yes! Let's go, bro! High tier 3. Oh my god. Of course, this player had to beg for a rematch, but I couldn't rematch him anymore. I was now high tier 3. Oh my god. And just about a day later, I am officially placed right here, high tier 3, on the tier list. And if I collect all these names, I put them into yup. There is 75 players that are
high tier 3 and above. And I am one of those 75 players. Which means, I mean, I'm placed right here 48th. I don't know if that's true or not. Technically, I am a top 75 player now. That is insane, bro. That is insane. Now you might be thinking, wouldn't it be so cool if I could get into tier 2 or even possibly tier 1 and be a top 10 player? Yes. I agree, and I'm going to. I really, really want to. But once you get to tier 2 and tier 1, you have to use a new kit, which I have yet to learn. I'll go over it later, but I already have started my journey, and I'm starting to get decent at this style, but probably will be a long time before I reach tier 2 or tier 1. Oh, I just hit a clip! But this is the end of my journey so far. Please check out my Lunar Client Cape if you enjoyed this video and like car PvP. And if you want to see more videos where I use this style of PvP in the future, leave a like, leave a comment, say something, and thanks for watching.